If you live in the US and turn on your TV at any time of day or night, you're likely to find an episode of America's Funniest Home Videos, or AFV as they call it now, playing. On the chance you've never seen it, people send in their videos of themselves or friends or family doing something stupid for the amusement of viewers everywhere. A lot of these involve injuries of some sorts, mostly things like someone getting mistaken for a piñata, or some dude getting kicked in the groin. A friend of mine who moved to Mexico a few months back sent me an email one day with a video attached. "You're not gonna believe this," it said. "Looking for something to watch late last night and found this playing on the satellite channel that seems to work randomly. Caught some of it on my cell." If I had gotten this email from anybody else, I would have deleted it thinking that it was either a hacked email or just a simple prank. But my friend is a lifelong insomniac with a taste for the weird, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. Apparently, it was a Christmas-themed episode. The host, Tom Bergen, was wearing a Santa hat, and decorated trees adorned the set. The first of many strange things was that there was no audience, just Tom sitting in the chair and smirking as he introduced the videos. The sound of the video was muffled, but I could hear that Tom's voice had been dubbed over in Spanish. The videos were all Christmas-themed, and got progressively more disturbing. The ones in the file included: a man is decorating a tree out on a balcony. He's sitting on a chair, putting the star on the top when a man dressed as Santa pops out and scares him. The man is startled and, losing his footing, falls over the balcony and down and on the ground. One of his arms is obviously dislocated. 2. A young boy is opening a present and pulls out wads and wads of white tissue paper from the box. He finally gets to what's wrapped inside: an animal trap with wide metal teeth that snaps down on his wrist. He screams and flails as blood spurts out on the tissue paper on the camera. 3. A blonde woman, staring straight into the camera, grins as she crushes a colorful glass ornament in her bare hands and then shoves it into her mouth, chewing. She repeats this a few times, laughing with her mouth full of glass shards and blood. Number 4. A group of kids are singing carols in front of a fireplace as their family members watch. One man is putting up stockings on the mantle behind them, misfires his nail gun, and several go into one of the girl's eyes, attaching her to the mantle. The other children stop and stare at her. Thinking that the songs are done, the adults start to clap. Number 5. A crowd is gathered in front of a home admiring a live nativity scene. A car drives up and a man dressed as a ninja jumps out and begins to shoot randomly. The woman dressed as Mary drops the baby Jesus, quote-unquote, who gets trampled in the melee. Number 6. A family is trying to put together a metal Christmas tree sculpture, with one man holding all the rods together while another inserts new ones from the top. The final rod doesn't go in correctly and instead rips through the man's face. His daughter is standing behind him and gets splattered with his blood. After the last video, the episode ended with Tom saying goodnight. None of the usual contest where the 3 best videos were picked out and one of them wins 10 grand. I can't imagine any audience that would have sat through that, much less vote for any of them. Maybe that's why there wasn't one? I think it was a hoax or just a simple sick parody, with the host who looked like Tom but really wasn't him. But my friend swears it was, and has seen similar episodes of other American shows on that same channel. She can't tell me what it is because it's not listed anywhere in her satellite guide, and it usually doesn't work. She can't even look up the number because she can only find it by flipping through channels. Pressing info when she had found it makes it stop working. She recorded some of the other stuff she's seen, but I asked her not to send any more of them to me. Well, I haven't done one of these reviews in a good long while, but I guess it's better late than never. Anyway, that was America's Funniest Home Videos, the band episode. My final thoughts on this creepypasta? Well, I feel as though the story was pretty okay at best, but at the same time I felt as though that it really could have done a whole lot better. Now, to start off, I'm going to address the fact that I definitely like the way that the protagonist actually found this episode. It was extremely unique, and it wasn't exactly something that you really often see in a lot of Lost episode creepypastas. You know, getting something like that sent into the mail via an email is not exactly a very common thing that happens in the realm of Lost episode creepypastas, so I will absolutely give it some points on that. I also like the fact that it's not overly exceedingly detailed and everything, and it's rather short, sweet, and to the point, so that's another positive I can actually throw in with the story. However, there are a few complaints, and I can say that my biggest complaint that I absolutely have with the story is the fact that it's really nothing else more than a gore fest spliced together with America's Funniest Home Videos thrown into the mix. I mean, there's really not much that I can really say except for the fact that I really just don't exactly see what was so scary about this pasta, especially given the rather unnecessary and tasteless inclusion of a child getting trampled to death in one of the shots, or the inclusion of the woman eating a glass ornament. Seriously, that one really didn't add anything to the story in any kind of way, shape, or form. But I will say this. The whole ninja thing that was included was honestly kind of funny. I will give it that, but outside of that, though, there's really not much else to say except for the fact that it really just wasn't much but a gore fest for the sake of a gore fest. Now, with that stated, what could be done to help this pasta improve? Well, for one, the gore definitely needs to be toned down a good bit. Not completely eliminated, gore can be incorporated into a creepypasta and the like, but it really needs to be toned down enough to where it's not, immediately in your face like how the story did multiple times. Secondly, have the footage shown in the actual episode be more related to the content of America's Funniest Home Videos itself. Like the kind of things that they normally show, but have it a little bit more accident-based, kind of like how the first video segment was mentioned in the pasta, that gradually gets a little bit more intense and a lot more fucked up and uncomfortable as the episode plays, rather than just having random gore spouts being thrown in. And I know I already mentioned it, but I'm gonna say it again, the woman eating the ornament really didn't include much of anything, didn't add anything to the story, and honestly, you could easily just completely remove that and it wouldn't have really changed much of anything. Now, with that all stated and everything, this is simply just my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with it, that's perfectly fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to creepypastas, and this is just simply my own silly little opinion. Now, my final rating for this pasta, I'm going to give this one a 5.6 out of 10. Overall, decent, relatively short, sweet, and to the point, but again, the gore fest really didn't add a whole lot, and it just kind of added a lot more, and the tasteless inclusions really didn't do much either. But what did you guys think about this creepypasta? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys not? And what would you have done to help make this pasta a whole lot better? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and like always, I'm out.
In fear and surprise, as your eyes widen, your mouth goes dry with each battered breath. You try to scream, your mind begs to leave, glued to your computer screen. The killers they slash, the tapes burn and crash. The cartridge you bought will be your final haunt. The rituals of hate will seal your fate. The tears you shed will be from the fear-gripping horror-driven nightmarish gore-filled, terrorizing, hateful, burning, violent, rage-inducing, knife-slashing, blood-splattering, silent screams. Only time will tell if you will escape this online hell. Your horror-filled obsessions will come with its own regressions. Your pathetic screams will not be heeded in any way, because your nightmares will come